to the mobile app. So if I bring this up, let's start this. So just to backtrack a little bit, let's just have a look at today. So when you open up the mobile app, it will come into today. You'll have a little map which should show you where your different jobs are. So we can see on the map, we've got our home and our jobs. As we scroll through, we can see the jobs. These green ones are actually jobs that I've completed this morning. So that's coming up like that. And then we've still got these 2 jobs that we need to complete. We can come into a week view, which shows us every day with a dot has a job, basically. We can switch between the days and we can see our jobs, we can see our status, all the rest of it. We can also then come into our month view and have a look at what's scheduled for the month. We can come through there. So that's really great for getting an idea of what's coming up. We can hit this plus button here and we can create a new activity. So that just sort of creates an activity within the worker's schedule. But for now, and then obviously we have the job offers page, which we'll have a look at the end, what happens there. And then we have our notifications. So these are all of the jobs that have been coming through to us. This is our availability. So this has been set within the system, which we saw at a different time. And then we just have a little more section, which is just, you know, basic settings, where they can update their notifications, their contact details, their email address, whatnot. So if I come back to the agenda and I have a look at today, so I am ready to click into a job. So a few things when I'm looking at this is we've got some alerts. So all of those alerts that we create on the customer are going to pop up here, which is good for our worker to be aware of, especially if it's something like an allergy. We can see some details about the job here. If we want to add in case notes, this is where we come, which we'll have a look at in a minute. We have some things here. So the travel and transport, this is where if we're transporting with the participant, we would pop information in here. Travel to appointment and travel from appointment aren't relevant, so that these forms actually aren't there anymore. We can log an incident. Now we're still working with Skedulo on this because the incident form in here is their out of the box incident form, whereas it should be your incident form where it's got the assigned CSC and whatnot. So yeah, I've been having a bit of back and forth with them trying to get that to work. So once that's done, Rohan, I'll let you know. But basically, this is where we would come if we needed to raise an incident, and the incident form will look like yours. With just the key fields. So it'll be the assigned CSC, a description of the incident, a few of these key notifications that has been defined by Balikara that you want to see within the web app. So that's what you would expect to see within this form. Unfortunately, that's just not ready yet, but we will let you know when it is so you can test that out. Now, if I click onto client details, a lot of this section has been updated, so we can come into assessments. These are existing assessments that are in the system, so we can have a look at the aged care assessment that's in there. We can get an idea of the client, especially if it's a new client, it's probably a good area to come into. We can also create assessments just by pressing, sorry, a little bit fast, by pressing this plus button. We can create an assessment, and within here are all of the assessments that are also within Lumery. So if we were going to complete an aged care assessment, we would hit that, select OK, and then that form comes onto the app. It's quite a large form. So you could go through all of that and complete that assessment, which would then pop up here. But it's probably a good idea for workers to, especially if it's a new client, come into here so they can get an idea of the picture of what they're going to. We also have in the client details risks. So if any risk assessments have been popped in, that would come up here. Again, probably another really important one for them to be checking. Medications is also in here, which is read only. I believe we are working on having a way for Ballycara to register when they have administered medication. So that is still, that config is still coming, and we'll showcase that once that's ready. And then just all of our other sort of things, goal achievement plans. This is historical case notes. So we can see all of the different historical case notes there. Any health conditions. So this is the allergy that we saw at the start. So that's great that that's been marked as an alert. So we didn't actually have to come all the way in here. You can also see that alert is also flagging here within the client details. Yeah, so that's that part of that section. Service line items isn't really applicable. This is the custom field we were talking about before. So awake duration, the worker can come in here and select their awake duration, and also same for break duration. And sorry, here's a sort of more of an easier list view of historical case notes rather than that other section where it actually listed out the jobs and you have to click into each job. So this is a good overview of historical case notes. This won't show any clinical notes or care management notes that have been done. So this is just for the support workers. These aren't set because we removed that functionality, so they can't link to the contact and see all of those details on the contact. So that's a quick overview of that screen. Is there any questions on any of that?